Yes, please, Mr. Registrar.
We're good to go. Professor Diderot has finally joined us.
I can see him.
Yes.
You are seeing him.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Good morning, everybody. Wow,
you're welcome.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Good. Mr. President, you're on camera. You're on camera. Mr. President of this Chairman of Governing Council, Council members here present, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, the Secretary of Global Soil Partnership, FAO, the Chairman of African, the Coordinator of African Soil Partnership in Ghana, our colleagues in ISRIC, distinguished soil scientists, including our fellows, good morning. May I formally, informally, because the President is going to welcome us eventually, may I informally welcome all of you to the first meeting. Asawalam has just joined. Excellent. The first meeting of the chairman of the working group of NISS 5-year strategic action plan that is tied to the African Soil Partnership of FAO, United Nations. I apologize for the late start. It's not in our character in the Institute to start late. But a few of our colleagues had some technical issues. That's why we're starting at this time. Thank you for your understanding. I'm going to be playing the role of a moderator at this meeting. I want to believe that you've all gotten the agenda. Can you put on the agenda, please, Secretariat? Amaka, can we have the agenda? Can you share the agenda, please? Right. Austin, Amaka, the agenda. All right, according to the agenda before me, you soon have yours on the screen. Let's save time. The first item on the agenda is opening prayer and opening remarks by the President of NISS and Chairman of Council, Professor A.O. Ogunkule. Our choice of Professor Ogunkule to declare this function, this event opening prayer is deliberate. We want to receive blessings from our Father. Professor Ogunkule, please, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Registrar. I ask for permission to continue on the protocol established by the Registrar. And I will also now of NISS of this, the Registrar himself, to lead us in the opening prayer. Mr. Registrar, can you lead us in the opening prayer and bless us?
Mr. Registrar,
he asked you before to
I pass it to
say
you.
the opening prayer. You are returning back to him.
May we pray It's a blessing. It's a blessing to me.
Yes.
Our Heavenly Father, creator of heaven and earth, omniscient, omnipotent, the giver of life. Your children prostrate before your throne of mercy this morning in thanksgiving for all the graces that you've bestowed on us, all the graces that you've showered on us. Most importantly, for the gift of life that we're living today is by your grace. Lord God, we invite you to take eminence, total control of our first meeting of chairmen of NISS working groups, NISS pillars under the 5-year action plan, so that all our deliberations, all our thoughts will be guided by you. At the end of the day, may honor and glory and adoration be yours. And may all the decisions we take be for the good of farmers in Nigeria. In Jesus' name, I have prayed.
Amen.
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 Thank you very much, Mr. Registrar. I want to again welcome all the eminent soil scientists who have been invited to participate in this epoch-making occasion again. I also want to recognize my president, the president of my society, Soil Science Society of Nigeria, who happens to be in this meeting, the chairman of one of our working groups, Professor Bashir Simina. I've forgotten his surname. Raji. Yes, because the society is our father. We want to thank God for this privilege. NISS Governing Council was inaugurated on the 27th of September 2018, almost exactly 2.5 years ago. 2 weeks after that, we wrote down what we consider to be the issues that should occupy the attention of the Nigeria Institute of Soil Science and its members after overcoming the great struggle for its establishment. I discussed these issues with the registrar, and we concluded to adopt the working group approach. The activities were factored into a 5-year strategic action plan, and this was presented to NISS Council for approval in March 2019. After the council approval, 15 registered soil scientists were constituted into a working group, each headed by a chairman, to address the peculiar problems in each of these 5 research areas. With
okay, Chairman can help me
reference
there as well.
attached.
Okay.
Are you following me, please?
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, yes.
The working groups that we call pillars.
Oh, how you doing?
Can we mute our speakers, please? So that the disturbances may be reduced.
We can't hear clearly.
Can we mute our speakers so that
it's not clear. Not clear.
Mine is very clear, President, so you can continue.
Okay. The working group number 1, promotion of sustainable management of soil resources for soil protection, conservation, and sustainable productivity. Working group 2, encouraging investment, technical cooperation, policy education, awareness, and extension in soil. Working group 3, promotion of targeted soil research and development, focusing on identified gaps, priorities, synergies with related productive, environmental, and social development actions. Working group 4, enhancing the quantity and quality of soil data and information, data collection or generation, analysis, validation, reporting, monitoring, and integration with other disciplines. And working group 5, harmonization of methods, measurements, and indicators for the sustainable management and protection of soil resources. Looking back now, I never envisaged the enormity of the tasks and activities involved when I was writing the ideas that constituted the assignment of each of the working groups or pillars. But I must confess that I'm greatly impressed by the enthusiasm and degree of commitment exhibited by members of each of the working groups. Therefore, I'm very confident and sure that by now, most of the working groups must have laid solid foundations for measurable impacts in their areas towards sustainable food production, the panacea for sustainable development of our land, Nigeria. This meeting is organized, therefore, to evaluate and know where we are in each of the working groups. Are we making the necessary, tangible, and expected progress? What are the challenges being faced, and how can they be overcome? As I congratulate the chairmen and members of each of the working groups, I want to welcome every participant this morning and wish us fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
May I invite Professor Adediran Alabi, the chairman of Working Group 1, promoting sustainable management of soil resources for soil protection, conservation, and sustainable productivity, to deliver his paper, make his presentation. Thank you. Professor Adediran, you have the floor.
Can I suggest again that we mute our speakers while he is speaking until he finishes?
I think I am mute already. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, but those of us who are not speaking.
So can you share his paper?
Yes.
Amaka, please share his paper, his presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, our able registrar. Well, I want to stand on the existing protocols, most especially all the protocols that were established by the registrar. I'm here to give the interim report on the activities carried out by NISS Working Group Pillar 1. The 5-year action plan rolled out by NISS for the management and protection of soil resources in Nigeria is a welcome development. Pillar 1, which is one of the 5 pillars, to work towards this, has been mandated to implement part of the plan. The group commenced immediately after inauguration in August 2020. The report I'm giving today covers 2 major activities that have been undertaken between the inauguration date and December 2020. The data that we have collected so far will serve as working document for other pillar activities. The mandate given to this pillar 1 is to promote sustainable management of soil resources for soil protection, conservation, and sustainable productivity. For this purpose, to achieve the mandate, a list, as you can see on the table, on the screen, I guess, a list of members was suggested, I can say selected, which is a 15 members committee comprising 6 professors, 9 senior lecturers and readers, who were drawn from the registered soil scientists located in various geopolitical or agroecological zones of this country. We are also supported by an assistant who is the secretary to the pillar or to the working group, and 2 assistant secretaries to support us. This is a list of our members that carried out the activities we are reporting today. What are the activities given to this pillar 1? The activities we are engaged in for the period I've stated earlier are as follows. Number 1, identify all relevant data sources and key role players to be involved in land degradation and sustainable soil management assessment. Number 2, identify soil degradation and restoration hotspots and potential for agriculture mapped for major agroecological zones of this country. Number 3, determine the soil potential for agriculture and even non-agricultural land use systems in major agroecological zones of Nigeria. Number 4, develop monitoring system for soil and land degradation system, measure progress, and upscale sustainable soil management practices, or even projects that will be implemented under this pillar. What are our achievements? Our achievements are as follows. Immediately after inauguration of our pillar, contacts between members were established through WhatsApp platform. Templates were sent to members, and there were virtual meetings conducted by the pillar. Also, there was also a virtual meeting where we reported on the activities of our pillar with the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science Council, sometimes last year. Number three subgroups were created after our discussions, even with the council, with members. 3 subgroups were created to undertake major activities between February and December 2021. That means this year. And I want to say that interim report of the activities of the group was also submitted to the registrar for onward transmission to the council at Abuja. Well, along with achievements, we have some key findings. Number 1, key stakeholders were identified. The group identified 28 stakeholders and institutions that were available where data are hosted and can be retrieved. They are also marked for collaborations and can serve as key role players in land degradation and sustainable soil management assessment. Also, some data were retrieved from some of these institutions. Meanwhile, data were collected or generated from 23 states in Nigeria, with locations from various local governments and agroecology. Problematic soils have been categorized under agroecology, soil degradation type, restoration measures ever carried out and suggested. And the last one is the source of data. The states where some of these data were retrieved include 3 states in southwestern Nigeria, 4 states in southeast, 3 states in south-south, 6 states in north-central, and 3 states in northeastern part of this country. What of the agroecology? Well, the problematic soils data, which we've collected so far, fall in the forest savanna transition, derived savanna, rainforest zone, high humid rainforest, semi-arid zone, southern Guinea savanna, and the savanna itself. What are the soil degradation types? Well, we have the soil acidification, salinity, solidification, siltation, whether riverbed or dams siltation, overgrazing, soil erosion, gully sheet and rill erosion, flooding, flash and annual flooding. We also have deforestation, whether the forests had been converted to cropland, shrubs, and grassland. Also, we have desert encroachment. We have hilly, stony land, landslide, urbanization, urban waste dumps, sites, sand excavation, soil mineral mining, and topsoil removal, either by bulldozer, during land preparation, and so on and so forth. All these are the types of soil degradation that have been noticed so far in the areas where we collected our data. What are the restoration measures either suggested or implemented? Well, we recorded that in some areas, soil conservation tillage had been implemented, organic manure use, farm waste incorporation, liming, agroforestry practices, planting of indigenous species, deforestation, flood control measure, construction of drainage canal, channel, stone pitching, construction of embankment, and also prohibition of illegal mining of minerals. What are the sources of data? We recorded that some of these institutions which we identified to be stakeholders have some of this data with them, either in print and electronic forms. And some of our scientists also contributed from the work they had done in the past. I want to say that generally, soil erosion has been a serious threat to sustainable crop production in Nigeria. And various types of erosions are noticed in different parts of the country. We have the gully erosion, which is prominent in 6 states, intensive in Adamawa, Taraba, Imo, and Anambra. Coastal erosion is a threat in 5 states, especially in River State, Cross River State, Lagos, and Imo states. We also have the sheet erosion, which is widespread in 19 states and intensive in Ogun, Kwara, Oyo, and Benue. Soils acidification is equally widespread in the country, and it has led to abandonment of expanse of land by farmers. There is also desert encroachment, which is more pronounced in the northern ecologies, while deforestation is commonly carried out in the southern ecologies during land preparation and so on and so forth. We had also provided, although we could not provide what's the acreage where that type of degradation exists. What are our challenges? Well, there is nowhere when you are aspiring to do some, you won't have challenges. And the challenges of last year was enormous, were enormous. And therefore, I want to say that since inauguration, there has not been any physical contact amongst members to exercise elaborate discussions on the subject matter we are discussing today. And number 2, the global emergence of COVID-19 pandemic in the year 2020, and even is ongoing, resulted to state lockdown, which has hampered movement and generally the activities of the group. Number 3, the industrial strikes embarked upon by workers in most of our academic institutions, since most of us belong to certain institutions or the other, have hindered contacts and relations with stakeholders. Then I can say that we also lack some funds to execute certain specific activities that involve direct and close interactions with the stakeholders. We need to move. Then, well, I want to say that the zonal office, which should be capable of helping in terms of movement, mobility, lacks vehicle. And this, if there is any vehicle, those that are around here, it can enhance members' mobility. What are the way forward? Way forward, number one, I want to say that the location touched so far, which we've covered during this interim report, may not be true representative of the country problematic soils because there are so many other areas that we have to cover. So there is work ongoing, and we have to intensify our efforts this year to see that we cover as many areas as possible in the country. Then adequate funds are to be provided to mobilize members. Members need to be mobile, especially through logistics, by giving us to move here and there to stakeholders.
Francis, unmute yourself.
They are the main sources of our data. We cannot refer to our Yahoo, or to our internet alone. We have to meet some of these stakeholders in order to retrieve the information with them. So we need logistics support in this area. Then there is need to organize 2 review meetings at least. That could come up in June and October this year, in which members will meet physically and not virtually to deliberate on the activities of the group. And lastly, the zonal office of NISS, located across the country, should be empowered and mandated to support the activities of the group pillars from pillar 1 to pillar 5. Well, lastly, I want to appreciate the council for putting us in mind to give us this type of mandate and to find us worthy to handle the assignment given to us. We really appreciate it. And I appreciate the kind of caliber of the professionals, the registered soil scientists that I'm working with, cooperative, but they need to be motivated. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Professor Adedina.
Yes, sir.
I think we move straight to the next person. Group 2. That's my president, chairman of Group 2, Mr. Registrar.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. President. Meanwhile, people should take notes. People should pencil down their questions. When we get to question and answers, they'll be free.
Hello.
To interact. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. President. Raji.
Thank you, sir. Am I next to,
They will share. Amaka, share his presentation, please. You can start with the preliminaries. Sorry, they've just taken lights here. 2 minutes, we'll be back.
Which kind of network?
No, it's NEPA.
Sir?
NEPA just went, just struck now. 2 minutes. Give us time to put on the gen set, please. The generator.
Moderator, the registrar.
Yes, the generator.
Hello.
We're trying to put on the gen set.
Yes, that's okay. The registrar.
Yes,
hello.
Prof. I'm hearing you. Go on.
Yes, Professor Denirong took quite a long time.
Next service.
Yes.
And I think
Between
we should
three
try to
different
to minimize some of the things so that we can, because we already have other schedules based on
Professor Chu.
No. All right, we'll just stick to 20 minutes. Yes. 20 minutes.
I looked at the clock.
Okay.
No, don't worry. We'll give you 20 minutes. It was more or less, he didn't read. He was speaking he spoke to the paper. Please keep to 20 minutes. Thank you.
It should have been 15.
Yeah, Professor Raji, you have the floor. Light has come back. Please go ahead.
Who's taking over here?
Professor Raji, it's your turn now.
Registrar, can you hear me, please? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, after we can hear you. We've admitted you in already.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. My this thing is my network is quite unstable. It's going off and coming in, going off and coming in. Please, I've just forwarded my presentation to you, sir. If it is possible received. That if it goes out, I can use phone and okay.
Yes,
thanks.
It's been queued. You can use your phone. Don't worry. When it gets to your turn.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Professor Raji, do we ask your secretary to present? Because I know you're having some problems. Mrs. Mary Obole, I hope you're there. Mary? Please tell Mrs. Obole to present. Who? No, yeah. Where's Ioma? Ioma can present. Because Raji has a problem with his system. Let her read the presentation directly, verbatim. Just a few seconds.
Someone is projecting that now. I don't know why Dr. Raji is not on.
I am there,
I'm coming.
but I've been going off and on. I have problem with the internet. I have problem with the internet. If I start now, it will still go off. I don't know what is the problem today. So I don't know if Madam Obole is here. Maybe she can just read through.
Professor Raji, go on. We can hear you.
I think you can jump the introduction. Jump that introduction, please. Jump it.
Are you sharing the screen?
Yeah, we're sharing the screen. You can go on.
The screen is no more being shared.
It is shared.
The screen is being shared.
Okay.
Present your, go ahead, your present will follow you.
Please jump your introduction and go to other things. All those listed we have heard. Yes. Yes. Now.
Yes.
Even this you can jump. Is the key things we want to hear now.
Yeah, forget about your membership. We already know. Go.
Yes.
Yes, yes, go ahead. Yeah, here.
Now, yes.
Activities, yes.
Can somebody help from outside? Can I help him? Because I can see it clearly on the screen, sharing.
Yeah, all of us can see it.
Okay, good. Okay.
So if you want to help him.
Well, all protocols observed. The activities of working group pillar 2 are as follows. 3.1, creation of a WhatsApp platform for quick and easy dissemination of information and effective communication among all members of the working group. The Secretariat created a WhatsApp platform. 3.2, meetings. The NISS Working Group 2 held 2 meetings. First meeting via Zoom platform on 16th July 2020 with the following decisions on the 5-year action plans. For easy implementation, the working group was subdivided into 3 main activities, namely Activity 1, Activity 2, and Activity 3. Members of each activity to meet and brainstorm on strategies to be adopted and report back to the General House during subsequent meetings. Membership of each activity was constituted, and you can see the membership in the table below. Let's move on. These are the members for the various activities. And chairman are also selected to drive the affairs. At the second meeting of NISS Working Group 2, held on 13th August via Zoom, the following were the business of the day. 1, presentation of position papers by chairpersons of the 3 activity groups. 2, contributions and suggestions for adoption by all activity groups. 3, report on partnership meeting between NISS and USAID, held on 6th August 2020. A total of 2 meetings were held by the working group, while several meetings were also held by the 3 subcommittees. 3.3, other activities. The chairman and the chair of the subcommittee of Activity 1, Professor Jamiu Aziz, participated in the partnership meeting between NISS and USAID, held on 6th of August 2020. What are the achievements? Number 1, submission of draft report. After several meetings of the main working group and the various subcommittees, a draft report with budget proposals of all the identified activities has been submitted to the registrar for his input via suggestions, corrections, additions. etc. The working group also received the sum of 500,000 naira only from NISS to cover the cost of internet and refreshment during the meetings. The fund has been disbursed. Summary of budgets. Activity 1. 6 goals were identified, and the total budget for the goals is 1,200,300,000 naira. Activity 2. 4 goals were identified, and the total budget proposed is 366,300,000 naira only. Activity 3. 5 goals were identified, and the total budget for the goals is 2,060,000,000 naira. The total budget for the working group for Pillar 2 is 4,656,000,000 naira for the 5 years of the plan. Challenges. The working group 2 worked using the virtual platforms, but poor internet connection, poor attendance by members, and lack of physical interaction were the main challenges identified, aside from funding, which is general to all the groups. What are the ways forward? After the 5 working groups must have submitted their reports on compilation, and compilation has been done, we suggest that a physical meeting of all the working groups should be conveyed before the finalizing the draft document. Appreciation. On behalf of the NISS 5-year implementation plan working group 2, wish to appreciate the council and management of the institute for the opportunity to handle the assignment. I also wish to thank all members of the group for the seriousness they handled the assigned work, particularly all the chairperson of the field activities and the vice chancellors who, despite their busy schedule, they find time to be part of the meetings. And attached the appendix, which indicates the fostering investment, technical cooperation policy, education, awareness, and extension. Then the proposals and budget for activity groups 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Professor Adidiro.
Thank you, sir.
We invite Professor Asawalam Damian, Chairman of Working Group 3, promote targeted soil research and development and focusing on identifying gaps, priorities, synergies with related productive, environmental, and social development actions. Please take the floor.
Thank you very much, Registrar.
Amaka, please.
I believe members can hear me.
Amaka, share your screen with his paper.
Thank you. The screen will soon come up. I hope you are hearing me.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Members, thank you very much. I guess the screen will soon be shared. So I'm giving a progress report on the activities of the NISS Working Group 3. The goal of our working group is targeted soil research and development on identified gaps, priorities, and synergies related to environmental and social issues. The activities of Pillar 3 is divided into 2. One is on development in research on pedometrics, precision farming, nutrient cycling, and climate change. The second one is to produce information on soil status and soil research gaps through workshops. At our first meeting, we tried to look at these and decided that we shall take the first phase of activities, which is targeted at the first item on the activities. And we decided to divide the members of the group into sub-working groups. The first to focus on development in research and Fedometrics. The second to concentrate on development in research on precision farming. The third, development in research on nutrient cycling. And the third, development, and the fourth, development in research on climate change. Now, our achievements so far, and I will take it according to the sub-working groups, the A dealing with development of research, development in research on pedometrics. We looked at the importance of pedometrics to include understanding the pattern of soil distribution in character space, that's soil classification, understanding soil spatial and temporal variation, evaluating the utility and quality of soil, and understanding the genesis of soils. We went also to look at the scope of pedometrics, and we found out that it includes the geostatistical modeling of space-time variations, linking spectral soil observation to soil properties, uncertainty propagation, analyzing uncertainty propagation, quantitative modeling of soil landscape processes, sampling design optimization for soil sampling and monitoring, as well as digital soil mapping. In considering all these, we looked also at development of research on pedometrics in Nigeria, and we noted that from the early works of Inakwe Ode at the University of Sydney, that a lot of work has been done on pedometrics in Nigeria, and yet they are scattered, and there will be need for us to make a conscious effort to articulate what we have done in this field so that we can harness the field and emerging area of pedometrics for our own national development. These are also part of the works that have been done also in the field of pedometrics within Nigeria. Now, on the prospects for pedometrics to the management of Nigerian soil resources, we identified that development in technology, population, land degradation, climate change, environmental sustainability, food security and health, and etc., decrease the effectiveness of conventional methods of soil assessment and mapping. And Pedometrics integrates the requisite technologies and knowledge systems for solving environmentally mediated problems resident in the soil, and that the knowledge of and techniques resident in pedometrics and digital soil mapping in particular will make soil map of Nigeria available at detailed scale for sustainable agriculture and environmental management. On the second sub-team, which is development in research on precision farming, we looked at the definition of precision farming, which is not particularly important for us to waste time on, but went down to look at the basic attributes to include that all aspects of agricultural production can be applied to all aspects of agriculture, and it involves precise management of available resources. It is environmentally friendly, optimizes quality and quantity, but minimizes costs. It ensures profitability, sustainability, and protection of the environment. It is site-specific and uses automatic monitoring of individual animals or plants for effective production. And then we looked at application of precision agriculture, and we said that conventionally there could be over or under application of resources, but with precision agriculture, application is concise and precise. Again, that precision irrigation improves yield, quality of produce, and water use efficiency through deficit irrigation strategies that use field and airborne remote sensing and thermal sensors. Now, we looked at the technologies that are involved in precision farming, and we said this uses the GPS, the global national navigation satellite systems, mobile devices, robotics, irrigation, Internet of Things, sensors, variable rate seeding, weather modeling, nitrogen modeling, standardization, wireless source network, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and drones. These are high-tech facilities that go into the use of precision farming, but it has benefits that include producing more with less of resources, improved accuracy in farming operations, reduced input costs, reduced greenhouse gas emissions, improvement in soil conditions and environment, as well as others. Now, what did we third working group on development in research in nutrient cycling. We try to look at the factors affecting nutrient cycling to include human factors, in which nutrient removal, either by crop harvest or by other human activities, can also create a problem, as well as the pollution of water sources, population growth, and its effect on farming, building, construction, and all that. Agricultural practices that promote soil erosion and soil land degradation, deforestation, and fossil fuel burning alters the biogeochemical processes which affects the earth climate. And we looked at the importance of nutrient cycling to include transformation of matter to different specific forms that enable the utilization of that element in different organisms, enable the provision of element to organisms in forms that are usable to them, allows elements to be transferred to more accessible locations such as the soil, restoring equilibrium and assisting in the functioning of the ecosystem, as well as nutrient cycling, regulating the flow of substances. Now we looked at on nutrient cycling. The translocation of some minerals, example, phosphorus from leaves and others, these are part of the documentations and studies that have been done on nutrient cycling within the country. And we go on to the carbon and nutrient cycling. And here we want to say that the amount of carbon that is stored in the atmosphere is strongly influences the climate, and that carbon sequestration is a method of reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere with the goal of reducing global climate change. And there are strategies that enhance carbon capture and storage in the soil. Agriculturally will include manuring and fertilization, conservation, tillage, crop residue management, cover cropping, application of farmyard manure, rotational grazing, and perennial cropping systems. Now, having said that, we looked at carbon auditing, which is a means of accounting for quantifiable greenhouse gas control effort. And that carbon accounting is an emerging field of business economics and covers a wide range of activities, including the measurement, calculation, monitoring, reporting, and auditing of greenhouse gas emissions at organizational, process, product, or supply chain levels. That carbon auditing plays an important role in the realization of the goal of low carbon management, which is an important part of carbon governance. Now, research on climate change. I'll move on to sorry. Okay. I show the diagram here. Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I have showed a diagram of the expansion of agriculture. We can see the conversion of natural ecosystem to agricultural systems with attendant deforestation, biomass burning, draining of wetlands and all that. And then we can see soil management activities like plowing, rice, paddy cultivation, drainage, residue management, and all that, as well as livestock farming with its excessive grazing, biosolid disposal, and enteric fermentation. All these will relate to soil degradation, to decline in soil organic carbon and nitrogen content, in reduction in biomass production, as well as decline in biomass return to the soil. And these will affect the production we obtain from agricultural practice. On the other hand, it will also affect the emission of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. So in all, this is trying to show that agriculture has some effects on the climate change that is a problem to us. Looking at development in climate change in Nigeria, I've listed some publications there, or studies that have been done in this country by our members to show that some work has been done on climate change in this country. I will then move on to look at the challenges. And I would like to take the challenge also in the same sequence, but not to a large elaborate extent, by looking first at the challenges of applying pedometrics in Nigeria. And here I say that large data set is required, but which are not existent. And requisite softwares for
Yes. Yes.
You just have 5 minutes. Can you go to the challenges you're facing as a group?
Okay, can I continue?
Yes.
All right, put it on the
right, thank you. Number 2 is that the requisite softwares are expensive and the skills for their
Hello, Professor Sawala, are you still there? Looks like we lost him.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, speed it up. Speed it up. You have just 4 more minutes, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we have also challenges with regard to effective practicing of precision agriculture. And we have said there is insufficient communication and cooperation between actors and gaps in knowledge transfer between science and the practical application. The high initial set costs, we have listed the equipment earlier that are involved, and all those high-tech facilities are not available to us here. The infrastructure and institutional constraints also exist, and these are challenges that militate against the practice of precision agriculture in the country. With regard to climate change, we say that the unimpeded growth in greenhouse gas emission has continued, and it is a challenge that still exists. And many studies have been conducted locally to monitor soil carbon storage and soil quality, but are not organized or focused to guide land use management policy across the country. Now, what is the way forward? The way forward for Fedometrics, we articulated that NISS and Soil Science Society of Nigerian members, together with their research collaborators and graduate students, should contribute to a database on soil info, which could gather data that will be used in pedometric activities. Two, that collaboration for software availability and training is important, and could focus on such areas as our statistics programming, Python programming, MATLAB, ArcGIS, and so on. Also, that collaboration, data availability, transformation, and use, especially with such organizations as the United States Geological Survey, NASA, ESA, and others, especially to acquire available data from airborne and satellite-based gamma ray spectroscopy, acquisition of ground penetrating radar, and all that are things that are important for us to move forward in applying pedometrics within the country. For precision agriculture, we say that the establishment of properly funded, equipped research and development centers to improve the knowledge and cost-benefit aspects of precision agriculture, especially concerning the environmental impact, is necessary. Two, that employment and fostering of roles of farm advisory services who should see the agricultural production according to the precision, as well as sustainability, is important to ensure food security. And the of innovation, partnership, and collaboration on precision agriculture, production, and sustainability. With regard to nutrient cycling, we say that supporting research in areas of carbon sequestration and auditing in soil at the local and national levels will be a way to follow. Secondly, that conservation agriculture, which can play a major role in soil carbon and providing long-term global economic and environmental benefit, should be encouraged. With regard to climate change, we say that it is
no. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Important to undertake national monitoring that would mitigate global warming and climate change for environmental conservation practices and adoption at the national level. With that, we thank
Yeah, problem of technology.
Sorry, it went off. Thank you for your kind attention, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Saulam, again.
Thank you, sir.
may I invite the fourth speaker, Professor Charles Asadu, who is the chairman of the Working Group 4, enhancing the quantity and quality of soil data and information, reference to data collection, analysis, validation, reporting, monitoring, and integration with other disciplines. Professor Asadu, Department of Soil Science, UNN. You have a floor, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Registrar. The President, I beg to stand on the existing protocol. When I received the template for this presentation by the registrar, I just followed it. I didn't go for all the things that were in the report before. So according to the template, he said we should just state the mandate and go for working group. And then our mandate, as shown there, soil data bank, quality and information management, and then to enhance the quality and the quantity and quality of soil data and information. The details of this, that is breakdown of this mandate, include data collection, generation, analysis, validation, reporting. Can you go down? Monitoring and integration with other disciplines, especially national soil information institutions and partners. Then the expected outcome or the activity according to the mandate given to us include we have to document soil data sources and soil mapping through developing national inventories of existing data and where data is held, including inventory of soil-related problems. National soil classification system leading to semi-detailed digitalized soil survey in each agroecological and geopolitical zone. I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Document regions with National Agricultural Research Institutions and the University Department of Soil Science. That is for Section A. Section B, outcomes for activity, capacity building on improved methods by training relevant role players. And this will be by capacity building on climate smart agricultural technologies, the use of soil dock systems for evaluating soil fertility and capacity building of fertilizer blending. The group is also expected to generate and submit concrete proposals for presentation to federal, state, and local government development partners and donor partners for possible funding. I know this aspect was discussed during the council meeting, and I think it was a little bit kept in abeyance. Then activities. A total of 4 meetings were held within the year 2020, 3rd July, 26th August, 5th October, and 18th November. During the first meeting, members were divided into subcommittees. Each subcommittee was advised to bear in mind the expected outcomes and activities of A and B above in carrying its functions out. In addition, 2 main subcommittees involving all the members were formed to handle the expected outcomes or activities as the work progressed. The first will document soil data sources and soil mapping through developing national inventories of existing data and where data is held, including inventory of soil-related problems. National soil classification system leading to semi-detailed digitalized soil survey in each agroecological or geopolitical zone, document regions with National Agricultural Research Institution and University Department of Soil Science. The second will handle capacity building on improved methods by training relevant role players by capacity building on climate smart agriculture, agricultural technologies, the use of soil systems for evaluating soil fertility and capacity building in fertilizer blending. So these two subcommittees will handle these activities separately, and each committee has a function that is listed here. Then the third point is achievements. The preliminary reports of the subcommittees were taken in our subsequent meetings, and it was learned that the various subcommittees created WhatsApp platforms for easy dissemination of information. The subcommittees had also met on 2 or 3 occasions, that's virtually. Then the outcome of the meetings is summarized under the way forward below. Then challenges. Well, funds to kickstart this project is not yet available. Insecurity situation in the country is also a serious threat facing this project. Way forward. The group recommended the following: traveling to research institutes, universities, polytechnics for data gathering and collection. B, documenting soil data sources and soil mapping. Getting ID cards for members that will travel to various states for data gathering and collection. Training for members on data software application, because these things were mentioned by several groups. Developing of templates by each subcommittee for data collection to ensure uniformity that will ease data analysis and storage. Capacity building on improved methods of soil data analysis and data presentation for all relevant role players. Well, on behalf of the Pillar 4, I thank the NISS and everybody, and we hope that with available resources, the group will progress as already outlined. Thank you very much, Mr. President and Registrar and members present. I'm done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Prof. Mr.
Hello.
Registrar, who is next?
Registrar, I'm done.
Mr. Registrar, we can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
Professor Asadu, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thanks as well. The next presentation will be delivered by Professor Trenchard Ibia, who is the chairman of the Working Group 5, Harmonization of Methods, Measurement and Indicators for the Sustainable Management and Protection of Soil Resources. Professor Trenchard, you have the floor. 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Registrar. Thank you, participants. 5 caption has been mentioned. The terms of reference, which also stand as mandate, include determination of the different soil classification systems and to develop a concept for soil description and classification to produce a step-by-step guide, indicating reference methods for all soil analysis to enable the correction of soil. Am I being heard? Hello? Am I being heard?
Yes.
Am I being heard?
We're hearing you. Please continue.
Okay. Integrating local level soil description by scientists and farmers into national, regional, and global levels. Standardization and accreditation of soil science laboratories. And based on this mandate, the working group decided to raise key questions to address. These questions include: what does Nigeria know about soil description, soil classification, soil mapping, laboratory analysis of soil, interpretation and application of soil data, soil information exchange? What is the state of our practice and application of soil data at the local, regional, national, and global levels? Do we have legacy soil data? Who are the custodians? How do we demonstrate and harmonize? How do we domesticate and harmonize our soil data to successfully implement the proposed 5-year action plan for the management and protection of soil resources in Nigeria? How does Nigeria complement global soil data needs? Key priorities, key areas of harmonization policy include soil description, soil classification, soil mapping, sampling, and laboratory analysis of soil. I have added water, plant, and fertilizers because they are related. Digital soil information exchange, interpretation of data. Other areas of interest in harmonization policy will include accreditation of laboratories, quality control and quality assurance, and laboratory safety. The group 5 will set up a WhatsApp platform to link members in doing this work. An implementation template was developed and presented to team members to fill out required information in the first instance. And the issues to fill out were broad areas requiring harmonization, specific issue of interest in each of the broad area, methodology and methods of data generation, special remark, if any, and references. And of course, what strategy do we develop to achieve harmonization? Inputs were received from some members and collated for virtual discussion. Team members
Professor Trenchard, are you there?
We have lost him.
I'm sure there are some members of his group who are hooked onto this this virtual meeting.
I am back. I'm back.
Oh, you're welcome back.
Yes. So the harmonization issues that we have raised include developing standard manuals for uniform soil description and ease of comparison, developing unified manuals to guidelines for sample handling and analysis, developing harmonized quality assurance and quality control manuals in the country, developing standard manuals and guidelines for inspection and accreditation of soil and fertilizer laboratories. There will be need to form Nigeria's Soil Laboratory Network, NISSOLAN, and Nigeria Evaluation Program for Soil and Fertilizers Analysis Laboratory, NEPSAL. There will be the need to have a catalog of minimum equipment specification for soil and fertilizer analytical laboratories. Minimum requirements for employment and training of laboratory personnel will be required. There will be need to map the various soil types of Nigeria for the purpose of appropriate tillage implements. The next is a broad or is a compilation of issues that need harmonization. And like I said earlier on, we have broad areas and we have specific issues and we have methodologies and data generation methods. I decided to exclude references for the purpose of ease of presentation. So when we look at issues like soil description, classification of mapping, the things that are involved there are soil profile description, soil classification, soil mapping. And the methodologies of doing this have been listed. We now go to data interpretation. We need data to look at land capability classification, land suitability interpretation, non-agricultural land use, data for land quality, data for soil quality indicators. Again, exchange of digital soil data. We require soil information model and metadata. Metadata has to, we have soil multimedia gallery, media treated soil, Africa Soil Information Service, and several of them. Number 4 will be soil quality control and assurance. We need monitoring and evaluation. And we talk about laboratory safety. We talk about accreditation of laboratories. Compliance issues are important. We talk about laboratory infrastructure, health and safety and environment, minimum equipment requirements, standardized methodologies, checklist of quality parameters, sampling of soil and other environmental parameters, including fertilizers for analysis. We have listed physical parameters. We have listed chemical parameters and all the issues that are involved in physical and chemical parameters and the methodologies that are involved. So we move on to microbiology parameters, plant sampling and analysis, water sampling and analysis, fertilizer sampling and analysis. In fertilizer, we have inorganic fertilizers, we have organic fertilizers, we have liquid fertilizers. All these have to be, the method of sampling, the method of analysis, the parameters to analyze in each of them, and the standard references have to be harmonized in Nigeria so that our data can meet global standard in the event of exchange. We also try to put pedological inferences, inferring, getting results, interpreting results from our data. And of course, we have also created ratings for data interpretation. So we have data and data range in being able to say that low, that medium, that high, that very high, and so on. So those are generally the aspects we have done. In terms of challenges, there are still many gaps to be filled by the team. Many team members are not active. They don't make contribution at all. Very few of us did all this, but many did not respond. Way forward. Standardized manuals have to be developed and used in Nigeria to meet harmonized global best practices in laboratory regulations, data acquisition, analysis, interpretation, data exchange, storage and management, as well as laboratory accreditation and registration in the practice of soil science in Nigeria. The working group, all the working groups should synergize, whereby zonal offices make inputs to enrich the submissions. Work plan is needed. Work plan and timelines are needed to produce manuals and guidelines within this period that we are looking at 5-year soil management strategies in Nigeria. We are looking at transforming our presentation into a text. So that I think the Secretariat can do better than the team. Mr. President and Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, that is progress report from Working Group 5 as presented by me, Trench Adibia. I will request that I be excused to go because we want to go and visit Professor Peter Urban, where he is right now. We are scheduled 2 o'clock to go. So I hope I will be excused to go immediately after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Ibia. I think they deserve a round of applause. All the presenters. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you very much.
Within a very short period, very impressive.
Yes, I believe we are in the right way.
Mr. President, sorry. We can excuse Professor Ibia. Please give
Yes,
our love to Peter. Tell him we're with him in prayers, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Discussion, with His Excellency.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. We'll talk later.
Thank you indeed.
All right.
Well,
Mr. President, the 2 presidents, yes.
Questions and answers. We want contributions, please. Questions and answers from.
If you have any questions, you can raise your hand, or you can write.
Yes.
On the put your script down.
You can raise your hand or chats. Let's start from Working Group 1. Anybody with questions on the presentation of Working Group 1, promotion of sustainable management of soil resources for soil protection, conservation, and sustainable productivity. Questions, comments? It was presented by Professor Adediran.
Yes, Sebastian from Ghana. Mr. President,
yes.
Sebastian from FAO Regional Office in Ghana is the coordinator of the African Soil Partnership. Allow him to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, Sebastian, go ahead. Amaka, give Sebastian a chance to speak.
Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and congratulations to all the chairs of the working groups. It has been very much listening to them and then learning a lot from them. For Pillar 1, there was a statement about some of the activities that have been taken, including the prohibition of illegal mining. I want to know some of the successes or the steps that were taken, especially when you are dealing with local people, where sometimes it's a source of livelihood for them. What were the agreements? What went into it? And is there compliance so far? Then for the area of restoration or restoration measures that were put out to farmers, how did they go about it? Was there any form of incentive packages that were provided to farmers, or how did we, help them to buy this? And then also with the area of agroforestry and then other investment, the issue of land tenure, how have we been able to address this in encouraging farmers to undertake agroforestry and other conservation agricultural practices to enhance their soils? Thank you.
Do we allow questions first before we allow answers? Mr. Registrar, what do you suggest?
Yes, let's take about 3 more questions, Mr. President. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, let's take 3 more questions. If you can lower.
Yes. Well, you mean we are considering working groups 1, 2, 3?
No, for working group 1. Are there more questions? 3 more questions. Then we can proceed from there. Who has this? There's a hand. Is that Sebastian's hand? There's a hand still up.
I can't see it. Well,
Professor Adebiro, you can take the.
No, sorry, let me add one. Can I add one? Because Professor Adebiro told us that what is reported is not representative.
Yeah, sure.
Are you listening? Are you hearing me?
Professor Adebiro.
Are you hearing me?
I'm listening, please.
Yes.
I unmuted myself.
Yeah, part of your presentation, by the time you were ending it, you said your findings they are not representative of the nation. To me, that is too generalized. You should tell us that, where our finding has covered maybe 5% or particular section of the nation, or 5%, because we are scientists. If you don't do that, you may go back and be repeating where you have already covered. So we believe you should do something about that.
All right, thank you.
And the second thing you said, zonal offices should be empowered to support the working groups. I thought that one has been clarified, that all the working groups have to liaise with the zonal offices. They have to work hand in hand. Otherwise, we are not going to achieve anything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I respond now?
Yes.
Yes, to respond to the comment of Sebastian Brahene. Thank you for that for that comment. Well, the only thing is that this illegal mining has been a problem, and it has done a lot of damage to our soil. However, it requires government intervention. It cannot be possible if a setup of people just go and challenge those who are involved in that kind of trade. But in Nigeria, we have that problem going on, most especially in the Niger State and some other areas, whereby banditry or bandits have taken over, and they are really getting a lot of benefit from illegal mining.
Hello.
I want to say that it might not be possible to challenge that, but what we found out is that there had been a lot of agitation to prohibit illegal mining, which most especially in the agricultural sector. Although it has not yielded any serious fruit, but I think with this banditism going on now, and there is a challenge to the whole country, this illegal mining issue will be a subject matter for government to take serious action on it. We just state here that prohibiting illegal mining will be a way out to chase away those miners from the field and rendering our soil productive later if excavation will not continue. I as I was saying, I'm not saying that they are the measures have been undertaken, but I say suggestions and other measures that have been taken by those we interacted with, most especially farmers or those that are being documented elsewhere in some write-up. The restoration measures, what really happened is that, we are dealing with documents, not that we went to farmers and telling them is within a short time, is the documents that we have at hand that states some of the restoration measures taking care, which are being used to rejuvenate our soil. So, and it will be part of the measures we are going to suggest later wherever we go and implement whatever activities we want to carry out by NISS in future. Land tenure, yeah, that land tenure problem is there. Agroforestry, to be sincere, requires holding of land permanently to grow certain crops. And we encourage that farmers should join cooperatives, own land, maybe for some time, and grow their crops. It's possible to carry it out in a large scale and possible in a small scale. So these are measures that some people have started using in some areas where we get or where we obtained our information. Thank you very much. Then the comment by the president as regard representativeness. Yes, I'm just saying that the states we have covered, we've not covered all the local governments in the state, all the agroecologists in the state. That means we still need to go further. With the interim report we have given, we have not completed our job, so we need to go further to also cover other states. That's why I say that it's not representative enough, but nevertheless, we've collected some substantial data that can give us further ways to take action in trying to manage our soils sustainably. The zonal offices, yes, they are being empowered. There should be synergy between the zonal office, and I'm happy that all the chairmen, they are also zonal coordinator. And as a result, but it has to be, how do you call it? It has to be documented so that you will see that whatever resources that are available in the zonal offices could be available for the assignment given to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Adedino. Can I still say that, please, as you go on now, record the states where you are working. We want your presentations to show us where you have covered, so that it will be more meaningful to us. And I believe that formally, the Secretariat will write again to synergize the activities of our working groups with the zonal offices, so that we will not be working at cross purposes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have all the states.
Yeah, Mr. President, Sebastian is still has his hand on.
Yes.
From Ghana, Sebastian in Ghana. He's just raised his hand.
Okay. Okay, I can see it. Okay, let him speak. Mr. I see
Thank
Dr.
you.
Professor, please speak.
Thank you very much.
Hello?
Mr. President, just to what you have said, and the reason why we are more concerned is because sometimes our voice as soil scientists, as agriculturists, may be low. But if you want to push in the area of illegal soil mining and other things, we could partner those in the health and the nutrition area, those in environment area, and then make the data available to them and push them so that when the arguments and then the agitations are coming from those sectors, at the end of the day, it is also meeting our goals and objectives. So sometimes let's also look at how we can extend a collaborative or partnership hand to our sister agencies and how we can use the CSOs working in those areas to push some of our agenda so that in the end, when the science is needed, we can also produce data to support them and then let our voice be heard. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sebastian, I just wanted to be, not to say too much, but you see, we are developing, by God's grace, a soil policy for the management and use of soils in Nigeria. By the time the soil policy becomes operative, that is, by that time, government will have approved it. There's a section there that will empower us to actually deal with people who are misusing or abusing the soil. But at the moment, we have not reached there, but we are going to reach there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Can we move?
He has a copy.
He has a copy.
Oh, sure.
Good, good. Now, walking.
No, and wait a minute. Mr. Professor Adediro.
Yeah, please.
But the auditor in NISS is asking whether you didn't receive any money from NISS.
I was going to ask that too.
Which money? Ah.
The auditor.
I'm sorry. Yes, we received 300,000 naira, and this was distributed to our members. 20,000, 15,000, 30,000.
Okay, that's okay. So you got some money. It's not from me, it's from the auditor.
And we budgeted for more than that, but unfortunately we were given only 300. Thank you.
Did you receive any money? That's a question.
You received.
You did. Okay. All right. Mr. President, let's proceed. We're looking at the time.
Yes, it's only one of the groups that actually, it was group 2. The other groups didn't tell us they received a copy.
They are listening to you.
Now, working group 2, comments and questions, please.
Sorry, we followed the template given by the registrar to present the report.
Yes.
The template did not ask you not to say what you received.
No, the template was there.
You know, say
inside that template, working group 2 used the same template, and they told us what they received.
And
I don't think so.
Because you received higher value.
Oh.
Please, do we have questions or comments for working group 2? No hand up? Well, there's a little thing, you say they gave us good budget, and they were saying for the goals, well, the goals were not even stated. And I will want this budget to be attached to those goals so that we can see it. I don't know whether other people noticed that. The goals were not stated specifically, but the budgets were stated. So we need to attach budget to goals.
Mr. President, sir.
Yes.
I think I was, unless I didn't get it correctly, when we discussed something about this budget at the council meeting or something, I think it was the Mr. President or all of us that agreed that this should be handled by this year budget, I mean the budget that you sent to us to review and so on and so forth. I didn't know that each group now will go back and present budget for each group.
Well, this is the way it's appearing, and I believe that is the way it will work. Because a general budget should still specify the needs of different working groups will be different. All right? As we go on, please, feel free to present whatever you are convinced about.
Mr. President, let me help them.
Yes.
In the initial letter written to the chairman of groups, appointing them chairman and giving them tasks, groups were asked to develop proposals. It is not budget for running the group. Yes. Develop proposals so that we can source for funding from development partners. Individual groups are not allowed to source for funds. Develop proposals like one of the groups did, full-blown proposal, discussing with ISRIC. ISRIC is interested in funding some of our projects. That is the basis for our collaboration with ISRIC. But they're asking us, give a proposal. The document I was sent to them on the detailed soil survey of this country, which was discussed at the last meeting in Abuja, last meeting organized with the ministry. A full-blown proposal was sent to them. And we're expecting, they're already making maneuvers to reach out to the ministry. That is the kind of thing we want. The money to run your activities, leave that. From time to time, we give you what is available for you to do 1 to 2 travels, gather data. But we're talking about the big one. When you identify a topic, develop a good topic, share it with the secretary, share it with the council. Once it's approved, develop a proposal from Genesis, from beginning to the end. And we'll take it for funding, the source for funding. Thank you. That is moving forward. Let there be no argument on this. Moving forward, please, Mr. President.
Now, I think we move for working group 3.
Fine.
Working group 3, that is promotion of targeted soil research, development, focusing on identified gaps, priorities, synergies with related productive, environmental, and social development actions. Questions and comments? Well,
hello? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah,
just a little.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes. We're hearing you, but you didn't use.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
So just a little comment or so. When Professor Salam concluded that, you know, the cost of, the precision agriculture leads to reduced costs. When he now brought in what should be involved, all the technologies and so forth, now it's like contradiction somehow, because we know that a lot of things are involved. Before you talk about reduced costs, you will not overlook investment, that is in terms of the input and so on and so forth. So I don't know whether it's a question or a comment or something, but I think before we conclude or make a concluding statement that precision agriculture leads to reduced costs, we would have taken cognizance of what are involved. So that's just what I observed in that.
I believe Professor Asawalan was talking of cost effectiveness.
Yes.
Cost effectiveness, he will be right. Yes. But not cost. Progress. Questions, comments on working group presentation? Maybe before people come, let me say that such a very technical presentation like your own, definition is very crucial. You trivialized it. A lot of people don't know the meaning of pedometrics, the meaning of precision farming, and giving us a good definition will help us a lot. So I believe that we need a very good definition from your group. A lot of technical things that a lot of our people may not know as before. And that is the knowledge we're acquiring from having your group. I also believe that the major work is capacity building, because a lot in that area, in that discipline, where we don't have people. So capacity building is so important in our area. We must emphasize it, looking for grants and scholarships to train people who will come and serve us and bring the dream that we have. Questions and comments? Anybody?
You can proceed. Mr. President, you can proceed, please.
Working group 4?
Proceed to the next paper.
Working group 4.
Sorry, can I answer now?
Want to add something? Yes, you can.
Sorry, can I answer before?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, let me start by acknowledging the that was distributed to members equally. And members also to that. I'm grateful to NISS. We're trying to stick to time, and we're trying to also keep to the template we were. Having said that, I want to respond to the comment by Professor Assel. Well, for granted that the initial cost of putting together the technologies that drive precision agriculture is high. For those that can implement it effectively, the fact that you are now using precise quantities of inputs as against just using materials the way we now use them, you determine exactly what it needs, and in terms of input, be it fertilizer, be it chemical for weed control or for insect control, like that. And you will agree with me that when you use exactly the precise quantities that you use, you conserve resources, and that's where the cost effectiveness of precision agriculture comes in. Then talk about the the comment by the president, I agree with you that yes, some definitions are needed. You would have noticed that I tried to skip the definition that I put in the especially when I was talking about precision farming, and it was intentional to make sure that we keep to the time and cut this thing. Yes, for the interest of our viewers and of our listeners, Pedometrics is the application of mathematics, statistics, and computations in the study of the spatial dynamics in soil properties, and soil genesis. And for the precision agriculture, we define it as an approach to farm management that uses information technology, satellite positioning, and proximal data gathering on real-time variables like nutrient levels, soil moisture, temperature of the soil and surrounding air, data analytics, which provide farmers with guidance, optimal planting times, harvesting times, and soil management to ensure that crops and soil receive exactly what they need for optimum health and productivity. So we have definitions as good bets in our report. We try to make this presentation if we can meet up the time allocated to us, and to also to keep to the template that is given to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Working Group 4, any question or comment? Working Group 4, enhancing the quantity and quality of soil data and information data collection, analysis, validation, reporting, monitoring, and integration with other disciplines. Questions or comments? None? Okay, Working Group 5 then. Harmonization of methods, measurements, and indicators for sustainable management and protection of soil resources. Yes. Questions? Comments?
Well, the chairman of Working Group 5 is out of the scene.
Yes, I just...
But people can make their comments either way. We'll take note and forward to him. It will be recorded.
Yes.
Go ahead.
President and Registrar. Can I speak?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. We'll record it.
Okay, thank you. I could see something, those points written under achievement. We could look at it again, achievements.
You think they are not achievements?
Amaka, can you bring back the presentation for Group 5? Amaka, share it. Share the screen, please. Group 5.
Okay, maybe if I just want to call our attention to it, maybe, I mean.
Just a second. Austin, if Amaka is not there, is Austin there?
Many people are leaving because we were 32 at the beginning. We are now 26.
Yes. Achievement.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that all the points written here, most of the points written here, they are like way forward. from A to H rather than achievements.
Okay,
Developing
noted.
standard manuals. Is noted, please.
Noted, noted, please.
All right.
Okay.
I think I share. Yes, I share the idea with Professor Dediran, actually.
They are not done yet.
We'll call Trencher's attention to you. No problem. No problem.
All right.
That's
Thank you.
where we are going.
Yes. Mr. President, can I say something? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I think there's one recommendation somewhere which is very important that I think that the Secretariat may look at. Maybe you said it, I don't know whether it's written or something. Because I see a lot of, synergy, or should I say, a lot of common items amongst the group. And I think they recommended that there should be a kind of synergy or meeting that will make sure that certain items in each group are not repeated. Something like template for data collection.
Yeah, you are talking of overlap.
Yes.
And also observed it. We have to do something about it.
Please, I think the secretary that has all the reports can actually, get those things together and then either circulate to us or advise on what, because if somebody is going to do data collection in various institutions and then not using a common template that will be applicable to each group, we'll eventually get different data, and then that will be a problem during compilation and analysis. So
I believe we said this before.
Yes.
And we have to take note of it. In fact, no, another thing is that there will be waste of resources.
Yes.
Wasting resources. Thank you very much. Any more? Now, you see, he said many members are not active, and I was very sad when I heard that. I don't know whether you took note of that sentence. Before he ended his presentation, he said only few of us did. Look at the amount of work they did. And well, we may have to discuss that later. That
it cuts across. It cuts across.
Then
it cuts across all the groups. It cuts across all the groups.
It does. Yeah,
initially.
Yes.
Initially, I was told that it's because nothing is trickling in. Then I decided to incentivize the groups. And I hope we will continue to make provisions. Yes, I hope that will bring members back. Otherwise, we will review their registration with the Institute.
Well, I think, Mr. Registrar, we will discuss it. We will discuss it from the point of view of the administration. And then we come up with something. Now,
Mr. President, is it not?
Yes. Professor Adediran, are you speaking? Oh, it's frozen.
Network.
Okay, sorry.
What are you saying?
I say, is it not in this type of meeting we should discuss this kind of problem?
Well, people are not responding in the right way. It will take a lot of time if you want to start discussing one by one. We will discuss at the registrar, myself, and maybe at the council level, and see, bring something that we should, steps that should be taken. I believe we don't need to be discussing it here.
No, that's okay. But let all the chairman of our working groups, please submit a memo to the center submit a memo to me on what you think are the issues, so we can prepare that for council deliberation. Because what I got initially from you, I responded to, that people are burning their data with their money. Something should happen, and it happened. I want to expect that after making some token available, it improved. So I don't know at what stage Trenchard is making this reference, but it's okay. Let's get memos from you on why people are not showing so much interest, if it is still happening. But as for incentivization, it will continue and will get better if the budgets get better.
Well, on behalf of me, on behalf of
hello, so what wants to solve? Hello.
What? So
yeah, Mark, go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm listening to all that have been said. People made some good efforts. There are shortcomings, some shortcomings here and there. But what I told is that it seems we are very much in a all the countries that use these modern things, how they are done. And there is the we are to jump without enough data. If you look at the course, you see that there are that. You look at we have a different pattern on how to present the report. And then my emphasis again goes to the fact that we are very much while our for solar is in the 18th is in the United States. So let's know that the get analysis to just let
Thank you very much. Any other comments? I hope you can still hear me. Hello?
Are we under AOB?
Well, there's no AOB.
We can hear you.
Thank you very much. From that agenda, yes. We are under conclusion and closing remarks.
Okay, okay.
And I'm convinced that the time we have spent today is a good investment, is well spent. At least we now know what is going on. And I believe that this pack of literature review can be put together, all right? We are going to go forward to do concrete things. We have seen some things that we need to improve upon, and the fact that some people, some groups are doing overlapping in their activities, I believe we have achieved a lot. And I think putting them together will form a very solid basis for greater things by the time we are going to meet again. So let me appreciate everybody, both in Nigeria and abroad, members of our Nigerian Institute of Soil Science, and particularly the chairman. Thank you very much for all that you have put in. I want to appreciate, I don't know whether the permanent secretary is still with us now. If he is, whether he is or not, we appreciate him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone who is in what we are doing now, I believe everything you have spent is not a waste. The nation is going to be the better for it. So we appreciate you. And we pray that next time we meet, it will be a greater height than this. Thank you very much. Mr. Registrar.
No, you have said it. You've said it all. This is our first meeting. Call it an experiment, and I think it has worked. A lot of issues have been revealed. I'm so impressed with the caliber of chairman we have, to be able to rally members around them to get this type of result. They were not deterred that some members were not responding. They still went ahead. What else can one say, about them? I'm so impressed. From the Secretariat, we will continue to do our best. Everybody knows. For people who don't know, there are where all the MDAs are facing a lot of budget constraints. This year, we're told that probably we will get just 25%, of what we just keep praying that this will improve. So we thank you. I join the president and thank you for taking up the challenge given to you to serve. You are true. You are real, true Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians. We're so proud of you. Keep working. Who knows? You may get some awards. If it's not from this, it could be nationally. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So let's take a closing prayer. Let's take a closing prayer.
Mr. Registrar, there's a chart that should be taken seriously. It says, please, for our information, majority of my staff at Nnamdi Azikiwe University were not classed into any working group yet. They are registered soil scientists. Please, can attention be given to this, my report? All right, it's one Mr. Onunwa Akudo sent that chart, and I have taken note of it. Well, if you are listening, the formation or constitution of different working groups or pillars was not based on institution, all right? So that is number one. Number two is that we are starting with this. We will be expanding. We'll be expanding the groups.
They bring in more people at this time.
Hello, Mr. President. What did your system trip off? Is it power blackout or something? Mr. President.
I think nature has closed the meeting.
I think it's network.
No, we're still within time. It's the meeting cannot network. We're still within time. I'm sure he will bounce back.
Yes,
but let me just continue from where he stopped. Definitely we'll continue to expand the working groups. But let me say that any registered soil scientist is free, is allowed to make contribution to any of the topics in any of the working groups, please. It's usually when working groups meet virtually. I think, I can't remember now, probably they make it open or something. People can make contributions. We're going to share the various titles, various activities to all registered soil scientists of all the working groups and their membership, particularly the chairman. If you have anything to contribute towards the development of pedometrics, precision farming, harmonization of methods and things like, please feel free. You'll be recognized. All the reports will be put together and presented. First of all, we'll make the recorded version of this meeting available to all those who joined, and beyond that, to all registered soil scientists, including our development partners, ISRIC, USAID, Global Soil Partnership, OCP, and others. Moving forward, your technical presentations will also be put together. We look forward to receiving concrete proposals for funding. USAID is there, OCP is there, but please don't approach except it's private. Don't approach any donor on our behalf. It has happened. What we got was a letter from Netherlands and from Germany asking us whether we know this fellow. It can be so embarrassing. Somebody was asking for a research grant and says it's on behalf of our institute. Please. Sorry, Mr. President is. Yeah, Mr. President, you can talk to them. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I didn't know I was cut off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and speak. Go ahead.
Yes, I was speaking concerning the charts that I read.
Yeah, they are listening to you.
Yes, please let this Mr. Onoa or Doctor or Professor know that the constitution of the groups was not based on an institution where you come from. All right?
I know.
And we believe that, that the groups will be expanded later. So please just continue to be a very faithful member of the registered soil scientists, and you will be made use of at the right time. All right? Please continue to be faithful. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Let me also inform members that somebody hacked into our system and is using NISS to rip off people, inviting people to join a Zoom at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. on 8th, that NISS was organizing a virtual meeting on AIDS or COVID-19. Please, I'm going to share the telephone number of this chap. We have already made the telephone number available to EFCC, but I'll share his telephone number. And then if you receive any such invitation, please yank it off your system and probably block this number, 1070. I'll share it. I would have done that on the screen, but I don't have it ready now. So please let's be careful. Thank you. Right. Is Professor Raji still there? Oh, Akudo. Akudo, we responded to your question now. Okay, speak. This is democratic.
Akudo was trying to, okay.
Onua. You can speak now.
It's the last chat.
That's the last chat, but he raised his hand. We can see his hand. IT, admit him to speak, please. Whether it's something different.
Good day, House.
Yeah, go ahead, Akudo.
Good day, House.
A good day.
Yes. Just to appreciate. Actually, a few of my lecturers in my department are not part of this. And so from the subsequent chat, I am slightly worried how they can participate in the virtual meetings of the working groups when they are not part of the WhatsApp group. But I just like what Paul explained to me, that subsequently there will be an enlargement. And I have this confidence that it means that subsequently, possibly I may be called upon to submit the names of those who are registered soil scientists who actually are not in any working group. There are up to 4 or 5 in my department.
Okay, Onua, I've listened to you. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Go ahead. Go ahead and Onua.
Yes, I
Akudo.
said, sir. Are you hearing
I said,
me,
go
sir?
ahead and submit. Go ahead and submit the list later.
Okay, okay. Thank you so very much. I appreciate.
Submit the list to me. I'm not guarantee you that all the 5 will be accommodated in. We'll do the needful. Not every member of, not every registered soil scientist is a member of a working group. But then, all registered soil scientists are free to contribute.
Okay, sir.
It may not necessarily be during the, every working group will now make it henceforth possible for when a working group is meeting, we will throw it open so that people can make contributions. Don't worry.
That's right.
Most appreciated.
Registrar.
Appreciated.
My registrar. My registrar.
So yes.
My registrar. I think
Yes.
what we can add to this is that every chairman can co-opt any other RSS member that he feels will, submit good data or whatever, who can participate in the pillar. I think
you have been given that power all along. You've been given the power all along. If you are not using it, please
with that
use
power.
it.
I think with that power,
go ahead. Anybody whom you think would contribute meaningfully to your work, please go ahead. It's for free.
So the Namibia University, any of them can be co-opted into the South or whatever. Pillar.
Don't worry, we'll take care of that. But just know the powers given to chairman. All right? Know the powers given to chairman. It's not an exclusive group. It is not an exclusive group. It's not a club. If you identify anybody that can add value, please bring that person on board. Since you're not paying any salary, all you want is to harness, to harvest, right? The best. So don't worry, we'll be okay. All right. Is Professor Reggie still there? Is there any Muslim that can pray for us?
Muslim.
Any Muslim, please. If you're a Muslim, a proud Muslim, pray for us, please.
I am around.
Amen.
Okay.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Amen. I wish all of you on behalf of Council, happy Easter.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Secretary General.
Thank you.
Okay,